Power doesn't always look like force. It doesn't shout. It doesn't wear crowns or demand attention. Most of the time, power moves quietly inside tone, timing, and what's left unsaid. You can feel it when someone walks into a room and everyone else's energy subtly rearranges itself around them. No words, no grand gestures, just presence. That's power in its purest form. Not control over others, but control over self. And yet, the dark truth is that most people never learn this language. They chase titles, approval, and attention, never realizing that real influence lives beneath visibility. Power is awareness. It's precision. It's knowing when to act and when silence will do more. It's knowing when to disappear so that your absence speaks louder than your presence ever could. The world doesn't teach you this. It teaches you to be nice, to seek harmony, to fit in. But power is born from understanding that fitting in is the fastest way to become invisible. The ones who quietly shape the world are rarely the ones seeking applause. They're the ones who can wait, watch, and decide when a single word will carry the weight of 100. You've seen it before. Someone argues passionately, throws words like stones, and another sits back, unshaken, listening. When they finally speak, it's soft, calm, deliberate, and the entire conversation tilts toward them. That's not dominance. That's emotional control. The kind that comes from knowing that whoever needs less holds more. Need is the invisible chain that runs through every human interaction. Attention, validation, belonging, they're all currencies. And the person who seems to need less of them sets their price. That's why indifference is often mistaken for mystery. It isn't that they don't feel it, that they don't offer their emotions cheaply. People will chase what withdraws from them. They will lean toward what doesn't lean back. Because in the human psyche, scarcity is magnetism. The moment you seem at peace without someone's approval, they begin to crave yours. True power isn't about pretending not to care. It's about not collapsing when others don't. It's not coldness, it's composure. It's being anchored in your own sense of value so deeply that rejection feels like redirection, not ruin. There's another truth that lives beneath this. Perception is worth more than reality. The world doesn't reward truth. It rewards the illusion of certainty. You don't have to be the smartest or the strongest. You only have to look like you belong at the center. People will project confidence onto whoever acts as if they already have it. That's the architecture of power. It's not built from facts, it's built from belief. And those who learn to sculpt perception don't need to fight for control. They simply create the conditions in which others offer it willingly. But this is where the danger begins. Because once you understand perception, you realize how easily it can become manipulation. Every gesture, every pause, every silence carries weight. Even kindness can be a strategy, and silence can be a weapon. The world is run by people who master the tension between expression and restraint. They know that the impatient always reveal themselves first. They know that waiting creates gravity, that stillness draws curiosity. When they delay a response, they aren't hesitating, they're building pressure. They understand that mystery is not concealment, but controlled revelation. And yet, real power isn't about withholding, it's about directing. It's the discipline of knowing what deserves your energy. Because energy is the unseen economy of influence. Those who spend it aimlessly lose it. Those who protect it become untouchable. That's why truly powerful people don't explain themselves. They don't chase understanding. They know that convincing is the opposite of commanding. The more you argue, the more authority you surrender. Real authority is quiet, it simply exists, and others adjust around it. You can see this everywhere. In relationships, in workplaces, in social groups. The one who controls the rhythm controls the outcome. The one who isn't rushed, who lets silence linger until others can't bear it anymore. They're the one who dictates the tempo of connection. Power is rhythm. It's not about always being on top. It's about knowing when to move and when to wait. When to speak softly and when silence will thunder. It's not the hammer that shapes the world. It's the hand that holds it still long enough to choose where to strike. But here's the secret no one admits. Power and fear are twins. The same awareness that makes you strong can also isolate you. Because when you no longer need to be chosen, you learn how often people love for control, not connection. And when you stop giving them control, some will call you cold. They'll call you distant. They'll call you arrogant. Let them. Because the moment you start living by perception instead of reaction, you threaten the systems that depend on your compliance. Every person who has ever been quietly powerful has known this. They've been misunderstood by those still addicted to noise. Power doesn't argue with misunderstanding. It outlasts it. It lets time reveal what words can't. The most powerful people in history were rarely the loudest. They were the ones who mastered contrast, the art of standing out by refusing to compete. When others rushed to prove themselves, they stayed still. When others demanded to be seen, they became mystery. That's what gives presence weight, the courage to be quiet in a world terrified of silence. There's a strange kind of magnetism in restraint. In an age where everyone is desperate to be heard, the person who listens gains the most information. The one who pauses gains the most perspective. The one who watches learns the map of everyone else's emotion. And once you learn that map, you no longer need to manipulate, you simply navigate. Because power isn't about forcing movement. It's about knowing where movement will already happen. That's the real secret. Power doesn't chase. It anticipates. It doesn't demand. It directs. It doesn't dominate. It defines the frame everyone else plays within. But beneath all of it, beneath the tactics, the silence, the precision lies a deeper truth. Power and love are not opposites. They are shadows of each other. Every gesture of control, every act of withdrawal, every attempt to hold or release another person, all of it begins with the same impulse, the desire to feel safe. We control to protect. We withdraw to preserve. We dominate to avoid disappearing. And if we're not careful, what we call strength becomes armor, and armor, when worn too long, becomes isolation. Power without awareness turns to coldness. But power with awareness becomes something else entirely. It becomes clarity, the kind that doesn't need to prove, doesn't need to conquer. It simply knows. When you understand that power and love are made of the same energy, attention, intention, and presence, you stop fearing both. You start choosing how to use them. You stop reacting to power. You start embodying it. And that's when something changes. The world no longer feels like a place you have to control. It feels like a current you can direct. You stop being the one who begs for space and become the one who defines it. The ones who know this live differently. They move slower. They speak less. They give nothing away that isn't deliberate. And yet, they carry peace instead of tension. Because their control isn't over others. It's over themselves. That's the real rule no one talks about. Power isn't loud. It's not cruel. It's not a performance. It's presence. And once you've tasted that kind of presence, you'll never mistake noise for strength again. So stay quiet. Stay grounded. Observe everything. Learn the rhythm beneath people's words. And when the time comes to speak, speak like someone who doesn't need to be heard to be understood. That's power. Not in the hands that clench, but in the ones steady enough to let go.